Welcome back to the Venom Workshop. So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about storing our fuel-injected bike for the winter. So this bike here is the Venom X22R Max. It's a fuel-injected bike. It's got a 250cc engine in it, and it's got an oil cooler on it. So this one's not too bad. Now we do have fuel-injected bikes that do have liquid cooling too. So with your liquid cooling, the only thing that's a little different is I want you to make sure that you have antifreeze in the bike. If you have water in your bike and it freezes, it's gonna crack the motor. So you want to be very, very careful and make sure that because it's liquid cooled, it's liquid, and I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. So I have a liquid cooled engine over here. And there's nothing wrong with the engine, it just that one broke one of these shafts. But now if you look around here on the cylinder, that's where your liquid goes, and it keeps the cylinder nice and cool. Now in the wintertime, if there's water in here instead of antifreeze, it's going to freeze and it's going to crack the side of your cylinder here. So you don't want to do that. So you want to make sure that it's antifreeze in there. If there's any water, just water in there. Say you ran out of antifreeze, you had to throw some water in over the summer to keep it cool. Just make sure that you have a 50-50 mix inside so that your water can't freeze and crack your cylinder. So now back to this bike. This bike here, like I said, is only has an oil cooler on it, so we don't have to worry about the oil. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get as much gas out of your bike as possible, because you don't want it gumming up your fuel injectors and stuff sitting inside there. So you're going to start it up. This one here has got about half a tank in it. So I would probably, if I was going to be storing this, I would drain the gas out of it. So every fuel tank has a hose that comes off. It goes to from the fuel pump. So you could take it off there and just, if you turn on your key, it's going to pump the gas out until there's a good flow, and then you can empty it out into a gas tank. Or you could get fuel stabilizer. So if you buy fuel stabilizer, you can buy it on Amazon. It's just a regular old gas stabilizer. Pour it inside your tank. Make sure you give your tank or your bike a good sloshing around. If you have, like I said, if you have half a tank or so over, instead of draining it, you can get fuel stabilizer. So you put the fuel stabilizer in, shake your bike pretty good, fire it up, let some fuel stabilizer go through everything, because you want to make sure it gets through the fuel pump, and you'll also want to make sure a little bit gets through the fuel injectors, and it'll keep that gunk out of there. So that's what that does, is it stops your gas from breaking down and getting sludge deposits and things like that. So it'll also help clean your injectors, which is really nice. So like I said, get fuel stabilizer. Now you'll want to check your tires, especially when you are getting it, you're going to start storing it. Make sure that you have the correct tire pressure in it. You can find the tire pressure anytime. It's usually on the side of the tire. It'll give you here, of course it's going to be all the way down at the bottom of the tire. So right down here, oh, no light. Hold on, I'm going to grab the light so you guys can see. So right down there, if you look, it says cold pressure 36 pounds. So put 36 pounds in there, and then it'll be good. And then check it again when you're taking your bike out of storage. You're going to want to check. You're going to want to check it then too, just to make sure that you've got the right tire pressure in there. And you're going to do the same thing on your rear tire. So back here, you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to follow it around until you find it, and you will find where it says max load 36 psi as well, right there. Oh, right there. So this one again, make sure you have 36 psi. Then you're going to want to come down here. This is your rear brake master cylinder. You'll notice even this one here right now is a little bit low, so I could put some brake fluid in that. Make sure and top that up. Make sure it's nice and clean. It depends how old your bike is. You don't really have to change brake fluid. Brake fluid is kind of like hydraulic fluid. I guess if you had the bike for 50 years, yeah, obviously, or you had the bike for a really, really, really long time and it was kind of getting gummed up in there and dirty, then definitely you could change it. But if it gets gummed up and dirty like that, you're probably gonna have to end up changing everything, master cylinder, the whole works. But yeah, so top that up. You're gonna wanna make sure that your oil is nice and topped up as well. Your oil fill is right here on this bike. There's also a seeing eye right here. This bike just had an oil change. I think I did a video on it, so where I had to take the clutch cover off, so I did an oil change on it because it's full of oil. And that's pretty well it. You're also, if I was you, your spark plug, check your spark plug, take it out and clean it. There it is right there. Spark plug's right there. Again, I have another video taking the spark plug out of this, I think. So you can take the spark plug out right there and take a look at it. I like to change my spark plug at least once a season. So you could change it right now if you wanted, or just wait till you're taking your bike back out. And definitely do that. Now, something you will want to do if you're leaving your bike outside for the winter, take the battery out. This bike here, the battery's under the seat. And those acid 12-volt batteries, they do not like to be out in the cold. And the liquid inside can freeze, and then the whole battery just cracks. It depends where you are, and we're in Canada here, so this bike here, it might be subjected to anywhere from minus 20 to minus 40 degrees Celsius, so that's a little bit cold for that battery to take, and it's just going to freeze and snap apart. There we go. So our battery's right here. So yeah, you'd want to just take your battery, bring it in the house, keep it anywhere. You can put it in the basement, anything at all. Just before you put it back in the bike for when you take your bike out of storage, give it a quick charge. You can throw it just on a trickle charger. You can go to Pep Boys or any of those places, and they will charge your battery for you. You can get a battery charge there. So just like when you're going to take it out, like I said, of storage, you can do that, and that'll save the battery. If you leave it in again for the winter, most likely it's going to freeze and crack, so you don't want to do that. So make sure and get that out of your bike. Now all the electronics are fine. The ECU, which is right here, is going to be okay. Anything else is going to be okay. You're not going to worry too much about it. Make sure you cover your bike too. Through the winter, it's not that it'll keep it warmer or anything, but if any stuff gets put on it or anything, it's going to get dirty or scratched, so a cover is always a good idea. And also, before you put it away, give it a good wipe. So when I say give it a good wipe, I'm talking about anywhere that you see frame, like the swing arm down here, just wipe that all off. What that'll do is, if you have any moisture anywhere, you won't be letting it sit for the whole winter and start to rust. The more you wipe, the better it is. Give everything a good wipe down. And that's probably about it. So if you have any more questions or concerns, or you have any ideas about anything, or like I said, you have a question about storing your bike, you can always reach out to us here. But that's it, guys. That's how you put your fuel-injected bike away for the winter.